Let's take a quick look at our starting lineup for the Central Washington. See Jacob Haskins, Evan Shinsis, and Chris McGuire on the attack. Stephen Lord, Patrick Fitzgerald, Austin Kartik. Out in front of number 2, Will Hauk in goal. And the midfield, Jeremy Vayu, Pat Mell, and Brendan Carpenter. And for the University of Portland, you can see Mike Henry be starting in goal. In front of Mike, Mousa Gloyd, Stephen Carter, and Kyle Michael. At the attack, Riley Walsh, Ian McKennis-Entman, who we mentioned, Kevin Bastian. And at midfield, Tyler Mills, Nolan Ripple, and number 13, Matt Tim. Tim also, Matt, number 13, is leading scorer in the PNCLL Division II. He's actually coming in at number 11 this week, and right in front of him at number 10 is his brother Chris. The Tim brothers out of Roseburg, Oregon, Southern Oregon. And we're just about to get underway. Looks like Vayu out to meet Nolan Ripple, sophomore midi from Brophy Prep in Phoenix. And that should be a great matchup today. Watch the face-off. Both these face-off players are decorated, experienced players. And the first face-off is picked up by the Pilots, where number 4, Riley Walsh, will take the ball to X, where McKennis-Entman returns the ball. And we're back up top. Number 13 will get the ball up top for our first dodge of the afternoon. Oh, we're going to keep spinning the ball around. Outside to Entman. Looks like Ripple will set up a dodge. No, happy to keep Matt passing around. That's Matt Tim up top right here, close to us, number 13. Number 22, Kevin Bastian with the ball. Outside right to Ian McKennis-Entman. Up to Ripple. Ripple will take the dodge down the right, down the alley. Met and turned away by number 20. That's Austin Kartik from Central Washington. Pilots playing a patient offense to start the game. The ball's at X, the back right of the goalie. Back up top, where Chris Tim will take a run, pass it off to his brother. Dodge from X, back up top to Tim, who's going to wind up and shoot. And Portland Pilots are on the board. Their first shot of the afternoon. Number 13, adding to his PNCLL scoring lead, or number 11 position. The senior midi out of Roseburg gets the Pilots on the board. Matt was a second-team All-PNCLL short stick midi defenseman in 2012. He shows us a little offensive power to start the game. Vayu is out for this face-off, but this time he went up against number 16, Matthew Rosales from Portland, and Vayu is able to come up with that GB and the face-off win. So Central settles in for their first offensive possession of the day. Number 22, Chris McGuire, carrying the ball up top from the goalie's left, drives back down the right alley, redirects to his left. He's held up there by number 30, Kyle Michael. Central Washington with the ball at X, up to the right side. Jacob Haskins will keep the ball moving, and a shot by number 15. That'd be Patrick Mell, putting the first test on Henry. Henry gobbles that one up easily, and we're going the other direction. Portland gets the ball into their offensive end, settles it down, and redirects the ball up top to Chris Tim. Chris waits for some fresh legs and some substitutions to come on as he works down the right side of the field. Redirects the ball back to Riley Walsh. He puts it in the capable hands of Entman. And they swing around to Tim, who gets a Pilot coming in quickly out of the substitution box and puts a shot just past the cage, backed up nicely by Portland. Walsh brings it in from X. Looks up quick to the quick feed to Entman, cutting across the cage. And that ball did go in. It bounced off the tighter part of the net there by the post, but came right back out. But that is the first goal of the afternoon for McKennis-Entman, and the second goal of the day for the Portland Pilots. William, taking a look at that last goal if we can here. You can see the ball at X. The defense turns their attention to the back of the the end line. Doesn't see Entman getting himself free and gets a step on his defenseman, and it's an easy play for the former MVP of the PNCLL. Put that one away. That'll be his 31st goal of the year. William Halk in goal for Central Washington. As they say in lacrosse, this young man sees a lot of rubber. He averaged 17 saves a game coming into this contest already this year. And right off the bat, you can see another shot right off the face-off. Nolan Ripple scoops up that loose ball, heads straight through the middle, able to put a shot by Halk. Make that the third goal of the game, 12:09 in the first quarter. And you can see right here off the face-off, it's a nice job of just popping that ball forward, using his speed to get ahead of the defense. No one slides to pick him up. A little bit late on that slide, picking him up too far down the alley where it's an easy shot from there, about 8 to 10 yards away. So Halk obviously gets a lot of action in goal. In 2012, he had 4 games where he registered over 20 saves, which is amazing. 2 of those contests, he racked up 24 saves apiece in a win against Humboldt and a loss to Southern Oregon. He gets a lot of work in that cage and does a good job for Central Washington. So Central Washington back on the offense, number 22 driving up top. Chris McGuire once again redirects to his right, trying to get past the defense of LSM Kyle Michael. Michael, a freshman out of Golden, Colorado. Loose ball down, scooped up quickly by Nolan Ripple again. Nolan's free. Got nice passing by Portland to get open. And Entman on the doorstep, able to put the 4th goal away for the Pilots. At 11:26 in the first. And with that 4th goal, we can hear the coaches on the Central Washington side wanting a quick timeout, get their feet underneath them. And with that break, we will join the teams and we will take a quick commercial here on Lax TV.
Harris makes 2-3 moves, scores! Here come the Ducks. San Jose finds the back of the net. Bryant inside to Yealy. This is going to be a goal for Yealy. Bojano into the middle to cross. Bounce. Score! Sean Beer sends it up top. Left-handed shot by Vasilevsky.
Our newest sponsor is SportsBoard, creators of the iPad and iPhone-based player assessment solutions that are used for recruiting, season, and camp activities. SportsBoard's revolutionary paperless system is used by over 60 men's and women's college programs, is being adopted by club and high school teams. For more information, go to sportsboard-win.com.
Here at the University of Portland, the Portland Pilots hosting Central Washington University Wildcats. About to face off with 11:26 left in the game. First quarter. At the score 4-0 Pilots. Vayu out once again. We'll take the face-off against Matthew Rosales. Won by Rosales. Quickly down to Entman. On the doorstep. 1-2 passes. That's number 4, Riley Walsh. Putting that ball away for a 5-0 lead here in the first quarter. See the experience of Portland coming through with the quick ball movement. They have the luxury of 2 strong face-off men, with Rosales in 2012 racking up 33 wins on 52 face-offs for 63%. Nolan Ripple, the leading face-off man out of Brophy Prep in Phoenix, was the 2012 first team PNCLL FOGO last year, with a winning percentage of 74%, which is fantastic. So off of that face-off, once again, Portland picks it up with LSM Tyler Mills, Sammamish Washington player himself. Entman with the ball at X for Portland. Gets it across to Chris Tim. We'll look to his brother Matt. Matt back to Walsh. Walsh to Entman. Number 25 in the game, Sean Gunn, gets his first run in the afternoon for Portland. And Tim driving down the right alley, right-handed, gets free, takes the shot, puts it over the right shoulder, look like of Hauk. Hauk's going to have a long day if that defense doesn't start giving him some help, keeping those shooters less than 10 yards away from him. So at 10:38, Portland puts up goal number 6 to take a 6-0 lead. Portland looking every bit like the top 25 team they are to start the day. And back for the face. Looks like Central Washington trying a new midi at the face-off. That'd be Alex Johnson, a freshman out of Sela High School in Washington. Scooped up by Ripple. Ripple in a lot of traffic, gets away, gets knocked down by number 4, Jack Otto, able to maintain possession and get the ball back to Entman, who gets it to Walsh, who looks to Tim in the top right corner. Chris looks at some players coming out of the sub box, directs the ball to Bill Michelson, senior midi for the Pilots, who runs off field after he makes the pass, and the ball's back behind with Entman. Tim to his brother up top. Gets the ball across to Gunn. Gunn redirects to the top right. Portland being very deliberate in their offense, taking the time to make some passes and set things up. Number 22 will carry from X, drive to his left. Off the pick and roll, back to Entman, who drives GLE to the right side, moves the ball up top to Matt. Matt's going to drive right and uncork it. Able to sneak the bouncer once again past Hauk to make it 7-0 Portland with 9:20 left in the first. Portland doing a good job of a very deliberate, as I said, offense, making sure that everyone touched the ball. They got it around a few times and worked for a good shot rather than a quick shot. Right off the face-off, Rosales pops it forward. Scoops through, able to get possession. Directs the ball up top to Bill Michelson. Michelson looked like he wanted to pull the string and bring that pass back in. Portland able to collect the loose ball, but then Tim drops it right away. Number 6 for Central Washington headed the other direction. Nice pickup by Stephen Lord. Gets the ball in Central Washington's offensive zone, where they'll settle it down, try and get a good possession. Number 16's getting a lot of work. Jacob Haskins running hard, where he gets it to Veyu, who's able to turn and put a shot on Henry. Henry there to make the save. Henry forces a nice pass right into traffic. Somehow Ripple comes down with that on the run, unable to put that pass in the stick of Riley Walsh. It's a turnover to the Wildcats. Henry made a nice save on that close-in shot by Veyu. Oh, the referee now saying that ball was tipped and will stay with Portland. Henry needs to guard against. Oh, there's a great save for Hauk for his first stop of the afternoon. In close with a cutter right in his face. Makes the great stick-high save. Good stop to get his confidence going. I'll finish my thought. Henry's going to need to stay awake. These are tough games for goalies when all the action's at the other end of the field. You get a little flat and all of a sudden it's in front of you. It might not be as sharp as you'd like to be with some consistent action. But so far, up to the task on 2 shots. Central Washington works the ball from X to the top of the cage. Just before it looked like he was winding up for a shot. Number 22, Chris McGuire, lost the ball on a nice check. We're loose, still trying to get the loose ball. McGuire chases that out of bounds. However, we're going to go to the Pilots. Quick whistle this year is something new in lacrosse. Flag is down. Portland working with a free opportunity at this point until Central Washington is able to gain possession or that ball goes out of bounds. Portland will continue on this offensive set. Once it's either turned over or out of bounds, they will get that penalty that is awaiting. So during this play-on session, we'll see if Portland can capitalize. Chris Tim with the ball, back to X where Entman travels from his left to right, cuts back to his right, looking ahead of the cage, looking for the cutter from the top. That was Ripple. Now he drives from X, rolls back to his right on the question mark. Held up nicely, decides not to take the shot. It's defensed by Austin Kartik. Portland settles down with number 25, touching the ball. Sean Gunn once again on the far sideline. Chris Tim, isolated up top, going to drive to his right. Gets past the LSM and able to put the shot in right in the, buries it in the bottom right corner. That was a great placement on that shot. Not a lot the goalie can do on that when he's that close in and the shot is that accurate. But regardless, that goal makes it 8-0. Portland with 6:44 left in the first.
Chris Tim, isolated.
Take a look at this replay. Dodges to his right. Gets a step on his defender, hands free, draws the head back. And that's just too close and too accurate to expect the goalie to make a save on that one. So back for the faceoff is Vayu against Rosales. 6:44 left in the first quarter. Vayu is going to get a shot at that, but long stick midi Tyler Mills beats him to that loose ball. We're still fighting for it. Evan Shinsis comes up with that ball. One of the many freshmen for Central Washington. Evan out of Woodinville High School in Woodinville, Washington. There's another shot by Central Washington on the doorstep, but Mike Henry is up to the task. Got a loose ball push though on the Portland defense, which will turn the ball back over to Central Washington where they'll get another opportunity to shoot. McGuire brings the ball in from the sideline. Working once again on Kyle Michael. Errant pass gets up to midfield. Looks like Central Washington has a shot to scoop this up if they hurry. But now they're in trouble on the sideline and pushed out of bounds. Push with possession called on number 4, Riley Walsh. So Central Washington gets a break on that one. Valu right away into the offensive end. Will start off for Central Washington's first man-up opportunity of the afternoon. Vayu joined by Haskins. Looks like Shinsis. Number 15, Patrick Mell. And number 35, Brendan Carpenter. Out there on the man-up unit, joined by number 22, McGuire. McGuire with the ball, gets it back to X with Shinsis. Shinsis to Haskins. Up to Vayu. Central Washington with the drive, right-handed, down the alley, backs it out. Vayu's in the middle, open. Unable to get that pass. And the ball goes out of bounds. Going to be Portland Pilots' ball. They are man down. So we'll see if Central Washington jumps on the ball carrier and doubles, trying to get a turnover. Looks like that penalty has released. I don't see anyone in the substitution box, so we're back to even. With Entman behind the ball, behind the goal at X. Passes it up to Tim. Matt gets the ball to center field to Nolan Ripple. Got a stoppage of play real quick. The referee on the far side says the Portland Pilots had walked through the crease. That is a turnover. Going back the other way, Central Washington quickly over midfield. Patrick Mell loses the ball. We're going back the other way with number 6. That ball knocked down, back to Central Washington. Central Washington getting their feet underneath them, starting to heat up a little bit. Got action back and forth. Nolan Ripple able to calm things down though and come up with that possession, but knocked down right away. Good job by number 6, Stephen Lord, senior LSM for Washington, knocking that pass down. Gets the ball up to McGuire, who's going to drive GLE, gets his left hand free, puts a shot on close to Henry. Henry holds that left pipe, does a great job of making his 4th save of the afternoon. Mike sees an open man at midfield, steps over, a Ripple brings the ball in. Looks to gun at the center spot. Sean takes it down to the right side where we've got a whistle and a timeout, Portland. So Portland with a 8-0 lead here in the first quarter, 4:18 left. Led by Coach Mike Wilkerson, calls a quick timeout. We have to mention that Central Washington are led by head coaches, co-head coaches Kevin Gallagher, Brink Evans, And while the two teams are catching a break and discussing some strategy here, we're going to join them and take a break ourselves here on Lax TV.
Kaz, you like lacrosse?
Hell yeah.
Well, I love lacrosse. That's why you should keep it here on Lax TV. Check out our new show called Bull Dodge.
And check us out on Twitter at @bull_dodge.
See you over there.
Our newest sponsor is SportsBoard, creators of the iPad and iPhone-based player assessment solutions that are used for recruiting, season, and camp activities. SportsBoard's revolutionary paperless system is used by over 60 men's and women's college programs, is being adopted by club and high school teams. For more information, go to sportsboard-win.com.
Welcome in once again, everyone. John Stevens here, bringing you the MCLA action on Lax TV. Don't forget to tune in and stay with us for our halftime, where our Bull Dodge MCLA Division I Power Rankings will air. You don't want to miss our guys breaking down the MCLA, so don't tune out during the break. You want to stay right here with us on Lax TV. Just about back to the action. Portland calling that timeout, starting things back up with an 8-0 lead. 4:18 left in the first quarter. Ball's going to start out to the goalie's left here with Riley Walsh, who immediately starts it with the pass up to Ripple. Over to Tim, who will get the ball to Entman on the far right side. Back to number 22, Kevin Bastian, off to Walsh. Ripple with a drive from the top to his left. Turns it back out, gets the ball up to Tim, who's quickly across to his brother. Thinks about the outside shot, changes his mind, back up top. Matt Tim looks to Riley Walsh. Far side on the sideline to the goalie's right as he directs the ball to X. Entman up top to Tim. Tim to Tim. Chris to Matt. Matt's going to drive left. He's free. He's going to shoot in close. Nice block by Hauk. Entman scoops up that loose ball on the rebound. Pilot's able to maintain control. Aaron shot there, but number 22. Kevin had his man beat on the GLE, driving in, unable to put that shot on goal. But Portland maintains possession with number 4, Riley Walsh, coming up with that ball behind the cage. Back up top to Ripple. Ripple looks to a left-handed dodge. Is met well by Central Washington. Gets it off to Tim, who's back to Ripple. To Entman. Bastian to Walsh. Walsh going to bring it back up top, where Matthew Rosales gets the ball to Sean Gunn. Portland getting everybody a touch. Working the ball around, being patient, which they can afford to do with an 8-goal lead. Ripple's going to drive from X. He's met well by number 4, but drives to his left. Able to dump the ball off to the crease to number 16, where Rosales takes a shot, but again misses wide to the right. But Portland backs it up. Quick dodge from X. Got some angle and loses the ball, where Central Washington comes up with it right away. In some traffic is number 20, that's Austin Kartik. Gets free, but there's a flag down. Must have been some kind of a loose ball or a ward called on Central Washington, because there's a turnover. Looks like the ball is going back to Portland. We had time, must have been away from the ball. Kartik was bringing the ball up. Thought that was a ward call on him, but they're sitting number 4, Jack Otto, freshman midi, in the box, so must have been away from the ball, either moving pick or unsportsmanlike. But Portland finds themselves on the EMO with Ripple up top, looking to his right. Quick feed into the cutter. Chris Tim unable to get that pass in his stick before it hits the deck. Walsh will redirect the ball up to the top. Gunn looked to feed that ball back to Walsh on the give and go, but Ripple was not looking for that give and go. But Portland able to scoop up the loose ball. Riley Walsh has the ball to a cutter coming straight down the middle, untouched. Ripple gets goal number 9 for the Pilots with 1:28 left in the first quarter. So with 1:28 left, Portland puts up goal number 9 on an extra man opportunity. That penalty is, of course, wiped out with the goal. And we'll be back to even, where Vayu is back to meet Rosales for the face-off. Tyler Mills on the wing closest to us with Timothy Manra for the Wildcats. Vayu comes up clean with that face-off, takes a shot to the top of the head, and the flag is down. So Central Washington now playing with the play-on opportunity to try and capitalize on their first goal of the afternoon with 1:15 left in the first quarter before they get an opportunity on the EMO. Vayu being ragged by number 2, Mousa Gloyd. Beats number 2, gets in close, but takes a shot before he gets there and unable to put that shot on the cage. But with the stoppage of play, we will settle in, get that slash call on Portland, which will put them number 6, Tyler Mills, in the box for 1 minute. Central Washington getting a great opportunity here with 58 seconds left in the first quarter to get their first goal of the afternoon. Vayu gets the ball redirected to X. McGuire ends up with it back to Vayu. Haskins loses the ball. Central Washington almost came up with it. Fight for the loose ball. Vayu had a chance. 34 seconds. Finally, number 18, Evan Schintz, is able to corral that ball for Washington. Central Washington gets a first shot off, and that's a great rip from the outside. McGuire, number 22, a freshman attackman out of Seabeck, Washington, able to get Central Washington on the board with 24 seconds left in the first quarter to make the score 9-1. Real nice shot, getting a second look here, draws it low to high from in close, really low angle too. That was a terrific shot. So Central Washington on the board with 24 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Folks, don't forget, you can check out Lax TV on Facebook. Find our Lax TV page, make sure you like us, and check back often. A lot of news and notes put up on there during the course of the day. So last face-off of the first quarter, won by the Pilots. 19 seconds left. See if they push the issue and go straight to the cage. Tough attempt pass there, trying to feed Chris Tim. Unable to come up with that low pass. 9 seconds left. Looks like Portland at the moment looks like they're going to be happy to settle in, as I say that, with a 9-1 lead, but they were looking to the front of the cage for that quick shot to end the quarter. But that's it. That's the end of the first quarter here at the University of Portland. The University of Portland leading Central Washington by a score of 9-1. And we are on Lax TV. We will be right back, folks.
And I'm the head men's lacrosse coach at Florida State University. Hi, I'm Bill Harkins, and I'm the head men's lacrosse coach at Florida State University, and you're watching this game on Lax TV. Perfect.
Harris makes 2-3 moves, scores! Here come the Ducks. San Jose finds the back of the net. Bryant inside to Yealy. This is going to be a goal for Yealy. Bojano into the middle to cross. Bounce. Score! Sean Beer sends it up top. Left-handed shot by Vasilevsky.
Welcome back to Portland, everyone. Here at today's MCLA action, PNCLL conference. Today's action brought to you by the folks at Bigfoot Lacrosse, serving Oregon and the Northwest lacrosse community since 2001. Bigfoot Lacrosse. Players wanted. Today's action also brought to you by the folks at Epic Lacrosse. Epic Lacrosse delivers the finest manufactured lacrosse equipment designed to increase playability and maximize performance by using world-class materials and techniques. Developed in collaboration with True Temper Sports, Epic shafts are made from the highest grade materials available. They have tested and retested each design to ensure durability, playability, and performance are optimized. Their goal is simple: to give the players every opportunity to reach their true potential. Epic Lacrosse. Live, play, be. Just about back to the action. Here at the start of the second quarter, the University of Portland Pilots hosting the Central Washington University Wildcats. Pilots leading by a score of 9-1. My name is John Stevens. Happy to be here bringing you the action again on a overcast but mild day here in Portland. Temperatures in the low 50s. It's actually quite comfortable. Vayu off the face-off, pops it forward, able to come up with it, but there's Ripple right away. And in the loose ball, Portland's had a couple shots and finally comes away with it. Bill Michelson was able to scoop that up. Tough, close pass was missed, but he's able to get that ball back from Tyler Mills. And Chris Tim will now take the ball back behind to number 22, Kevin Bastian. Quick bobble, but Kevin able to recover. Where Riley Walsh will take the ball behind the cage, pass it up top. Entman to Ripple. Ripple drives left-handed down the alley, turns back around where Entman was following him through. Nice play there designed by the Pilots. Ripple draws the attention down the left-hand alley, rolls back to his right where he finds Entman following him down that alley that opened up. And Entman, you let him that close and that's going to be a goal. So Portland picks up where they left off, scoring right away at 14-12 in the second. And that's going to be Entman's third goal already of the day for the hat trick. Here you can see where Ripple drove, opened up an alley there that Entman just followed through. Gets about 10 yards out and pops that into the bottom corner for a nice bounce shot. Central Washington, number 11, Alex Johnson taking his first face, able to come up with that ball and run through quite a bit of traffic, taking a couple hits and drew a flag. So we've got some laundry on the field. And if Portland picks this up, Central Washington able to maintain possession. Johnson getting hounded at midfield, dumps it off, but Portland's Central Washington still in possession. Number 25 after it. Chris Howe fights for it, but Central Washington unable to come up with it cleanly. The ball shoveled out of bounds, where with the stoppage we will enforce the penalty. It's like a slash call on Portland number 6, Tyler Mills in the box, the junior LSM out of East Lake High School in Sammamish. We'll give Central Washington their second opportunity on the EMO tonight. They were able to capitalize with their first goal of the afternoon at the end of the first quarter on an extra man. See if they can do it again. McGuire, the goal scorer with the ball, works to the right, ball's at X. Shinsis moves the ball around to Haskins. Haskins to Mel. Mel unable to scoop that pass up. Ball's loose. Matt Tim able to come down with it. Portland's got a fast break opportunity even though they're a man down. But Matt Tim, senior, does the smart thing, pulls the ball behind, realizes they're short a man. Keep possession until they kill this penalty, which is like, excuse me, that's just a substitution. Thought that was the man being released out of the box. So Portland still down a man. Central Washington not pushing out and doubling. Matt Tim back with the ball. Met by number 19, Patrick Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald keeping Tim busy. Fitzgerald out of Talkeetna, Alaska. Come a long way. Lacrosse is spreading everywhere, as you can see. Oh, what a play by Portland across the field. Usually cross crease pass, but that was a pass from the outside sideline all the way across the crease to a waiting attackman who's able to just dink that ball in for goal number 11 for the Pilots at 12:32 of the game. I believe that was Kevin Bastian on the goal. Did not see who the assist came from, but looks like we've got it on the replay here. Looks like there's going to be Riley Walsh on the long cross crease pass, where he found Bastian just waiting on the crease to pop that one away. So back underway, 11-1 Portland, 12:25 left in the second. Loose ball in the corner. Central Washington able to come up with it on the run. So that's number 21. It's going to be Ben Baldassin, another of the many freshmen on this Central Washington squad, getting a lot of playing time. Ripple brings it into the offensive end for Portland and settles it down, where Tim will redirect to his older brother Matt. Matt gives it up to Entman at X. Entman's going to drive to his right, passes up front. Where Chris Tim, unable to bring that pass in, directs it up top to Ripple. Matt Tim behind the cage, moving to his right, gets a GLE, backs it off. Now he looks again. Looks like they're looking for that pass up top to Chris Tim, and Chris can't bring those passes in at the moment. So Chris decides to take it on the run, gets himself free for a shot in close on the dodge. Good hard bounce shot, just doesn't put it on the cage. Backed up by Matt Tim. We'll bring the ball at X, dishes off to Entman. Entman setting up his own dodge. Starts to his right, rolls back to his left, gets the GLE and dumps it up top to Gunn, who lets it rip and again misses just to the goalie's right, misses wide. But Portland backs it up, brings it in at X. Tim roll back to his right. Looks like he was going to try and tuck that around the crease there for a moment. Passes it up top where his brother will take the dodge to his right. Another bouncy shot. This one he's able to lace inside. So bounce shot last time. This time he just goes about mid-hip, puts it in the offside post past Halleck for goal number 12 for the Pilots at 10:56 in the second. Take another look at that dodge. Gets his hands free nicely, puts some power on that shot, and just puts it inside the pipe. I believe that's a first goal today for number 1 Chris Tim, if I've got my notes correct. The number 10 scorer in PNCLL Division II adds to his totals. First team PNCLL attackman last year in 2012 for the Pilots. Picking up where he left off, having another successful season. So the Pilots back to the action. Rosales dumps the ball back to Walsh, who is unable to get that pass. So easy turnover for Central Washington. Austin Kartik will be bringing the ball up on the far sideline. Sophomore defenseman looks to the middle. There's no one there except Kyle Michael from the University of Portland, who moves the ball upfield quickly. Great save. Nice job by Halk. Close in, shutting the door on number 22, Kevin Bastian. Halk did a nice job just holding his ground, making that big stop. A little sloppy play at midfield. The ball's going to roll out of bounds on the pass. Repossession Pilots, where Mike Henry brings the ball in. Mike gets the ball to his short stick junior midfielder, Matthew Rosales, who will do the legwork and get the ball over midfield. Matthew met by Vayu, playing some tough defense. Decides to give the ball up to Bill Michelson, who redirects it to Tim. Back behind the cage to Bastian. Nolan Ripple enters in. He's going to get the pass from Matt Tim. Finds Entman subbing in from the box. No horns this year in college lacrosse. All the substitutions are on the fly. No stoppage of play to put fresh legs in. Back to the days of the two-way middies. Chris Tim winds up another one. Number 19 steps in front. Patrick Fitzgerald takes that block for his goalie on that one. Pilots quickly back in front of the cage, where Ripple's going to let one rip from up top. Met. Ooh. Nice finish by Central Washington. Unfortunately, that was a step late, so we're going to have penalties on each team coming up here. Definitely a late hit or a hit up high on number 21, Ben Baldassin out of Central Washington, freshman out of Bellarmine Prep, is going to get hit with that late hit, but it was a nice physical slide. Just a little late, and Vayu's going to sit with him in the box. So Portland going to be looking at a 6-on-4 opportunity here for at least 2 men up for at least 30 seconds, could be a whole minute. See what they decide to do, if they go for the kill right away or decide to work the ball around. Tim looks up top. Ripple to Tim, right onto the crease to Entman, on the doorstep. Entman, goal number 4 for the former PNCLL MVP. That goal coming at 9:04 of the second quarter. On the extra man opportunity, 2-man up. Take a look right here on the replay. All kinds of open space for the Pilots to work in when you're 2 men down, and they are able to make some good passes and take advantage of that. Entman sees that open space open up in front of him, and he just fills it nicely and finds himself right on the doorstep for an easy goal. Folks, don't forget you can also follow Lax TV on Twitter, and you can find us at Lax TV, and don't forget that's LAXX TV. And don't forget, of course, the Facebook page as well. Folks, all these games are on Lax TV. You can watch the replays. There's Bulldodge episodes that you can check out. There's smaller video clips of things from practices and other interviews with coaches. It's a lot of fun. It's a good website to spend some time on. You can also find them on YouTube and see a lot of the Lax TV games and highlights on YouTube. So 9:04 left in the second. Some last-minute instructions coming in from Coach Gallagher, Coach Evans over on the Central Washington bench, as the Pilots are lined up, waiting to rock, ready to go. Central Washington actually holds a 2-to-1 advantage over the University of Portland in career games. They've met 3 times since the birth of the Pilots program. Central Washington taking wins in 2009 and 2010. But this is the first time they've met in a couple years. Portland won the last meeting up in Central Washington in 2012 when these two teams met. We're back to the live action. Loose ball picked up by the Pilots. Tyler Mills able to get the ball down to Riley Walsh. Walsh looks behind to Bastian, who moves the ball up to number 8, Bill Michelson. Bill finds senior Matt Tim, who looks to his brother, sophomore Chris. And we end up back with Bastian behind the goal. Tim and Tim up top. Ball at X with Walsh. Walsh over to the right side to Bastian, who gets it back up top to Chris Tim. And Portland being deliberate and patient in their offense. Walsh looks up top. Nice defense there by number 6. Stephen Lord doing a good job of keeping his stick in the passing lane, knocking that ball down. McGuire able to come up with the ball that Portland overran. So Central Washington back to the offensive. They got a good close-in look here, but number 18 is going to take it behind. That's Shinsis running the ball at X. He's going to pass the ball up to number 16, Jacob Haskins. We'll come back to Shinsis behind the goal. Unable to connect with the pass up top. Pilots are there to pick it up. Walsh gets through a little traffic, able to settle it back down for Portland. Matt Tim back to the action. We got a stoppage of play. A timeout to Portland with 7:17 left in the second quarter. So with this break in the action, we are going to take a break. You are enjoying the MCLA on Lax TV.
Dave Wakefield. Clarkson with Davenport University Panthers, and you're watching Lax TV.
Kaz, you like lacrosse?
Hell yeah.
Well, I love lacrosse. That's why you should keep it here on Lax TV. Check out our new show called Bull Dodge.
And check us out on Twitter at @bull_dodge.
See you over there.
Our newest sponsor is SportsBoard, creators of the iPad and iPhone-based player assessment solutions that are used for recruiting, season, and camp activities. SportsBoard's revolutionary paperless system is used by over 60 men's and women's college programs, is being adopted by club and high school teams. For more information, go to sportsboard-win.com.
And welcome back, folks, here at the University of Portland. Second quarter with the University of Portland holding a 13-1 advantage over Central Washington. As we mentioned earlier, don't forget on Lax TV, you want to check out our Bull Dodge power polls and the rankings. Something you can check out at halftime or on Lax TV later on this week during replays. Mentioned that Central Washington came into this game on a 2-game skid to start the year, but it's a tough start for the team. They have to start off with 3 road games, and they get 1 game at home next week, and then it's 6 straight road games, which is tough. These, as we mentioned in some earlier broadcasts, these students simply play for the love of the game. All the expenses are out of pocket. The universities don't pay for these teams. They pack themselves in passenger vans, make the 6-7 hour drives they have to make every weekend, and then they have to get back Sunday night and go to school on Monday. So we've got a lot of young men out here playing for the love of the game, which is great stuff. Great action here in the MCLA. Just about back to action here. Entman with the ball behind the cage, off to Bastian. Portland with the ball up top, spinning the ball around again. Matt Tim will take the ball in the top right, over to Ripple. He's going to set up a dodge to his left, pass the pick, redirects to Chris Tim up top. Send the ball to Entman and back behind the cage to Bastian. Riley Walsh setting things up from behind. Central Washington defensemen communicating, talking to each other, making sure they're in position before Portland sets up a dodge. Tim drives the right side, redirects it back up to Ripple, who slipped into the center position and takes a shot that was knocked down. Central Washington up with the ball, tries to roll it to the goalie. Oh, what a great play by Hauk. The defenseman tried to roll the ball back to the goalie to get the clear started. Portland stepped in front of that ball, turned immediately on the crease to try and stuff it in the cage, but Hauk held his ground. Really nice in-close stick save there for the goalie. Ball loose behind the cage. Stephen Lord will fight for it, but number 35 comes up with it for Central Washington. Brendan Carpenter, who's been worked down the sideline. He's going to have to get rid of that ball before he's knocked out of bounds. Unable to do so. Did a great job of holding on to that ball, but that last hit was a little too much. Just put his right foot out of bounds on the recovery. So Entman quickly back up with the ball. Portland gets the ball on the opposite side of the field. Looks at a look at the cage, redirects it. Has Sean Gunn coming in from the sub box. Portland once again settles it down. Matt Tim brings the ball up top. We'll find Gunn on the right side. Back to Matt. Off to Chris. Looks like Matt's going to wind up. Changes his mind. A little back and forth with his younger brother. Matt sets up a drive to his right. Dishes down to Riley. Takes the ball at GLE back up top to Ripple. Entman inverted up to the midfield position from his attack spot. See if something's being set up with that in mind. Gunn with the ball at X. Swings the ball around to Tim, who's going to hit Entman in the top right. Back up top. 4.5 left in the second quarter. Portland going to turn the ball over on the ward call for Ripple. Met well by the Alaskan defenseman, number 19, Patrick Fitzgerald, to get that turnover. Quickly up to McGuire. McGuire right-handed down the right side, going to look to the center of the field. Tries to feed Vayu, unable to connect. But Haskins was able to scoop that ball up, make a move to the goal before he's tripped. The flag down. Central Washington's going to have a chance at getting to the cage. Another flag down, so Portland's going to be looking at 2 penalties here in a moment. Still loose. Now that Tyler Mills comes up with the ball, it'll be a stoppage of play. Thought we were going to get a little extracurricular activity after the whistle, but we're all good. So with a 4:02 in the second quarter, Central Washington's going to have a great opportunity with a 6-on-4, 2-man up opportunity. Probably going to be a full minute on the 2 men down, as I believe one of those calls was a slash. The ball will start on the right side, right up to Vayu, who will take it back to that right-handed position. He's going to look cross-field, looks to the center. Patrick Mell going to work it back and forth with Vayu, who gets it off to McGuire. Looks behind the cage. I think that's Shinsis. Yep. Up to Vayu. Patrick Mell with the ball back to the center where Mayhew looks for the shot. That's a nice feed to the middle. Great play there by number 35, Brendan Carpenter, putting himself in a nice position. Vayu draws the attention. Carpenter puts himself in a good spot and able to make the catch, turn, and put a nice shot down to the bottom right corner that beats Henry for the second goal of the afternoon for the Central Washington Wildcats, with 3:34 left in the second quarter. Take another look here. See that Central Washington gets the ball into Vayu, draws the defenseman. Carpenter sitting there in a nice open spot. Doesn't waste any time, catches the ball, turns, and puts it on cage. Nice job by Central Washington. So at 13-2 now with 3:32 left in the second quarter. Rosales does a good job of kicking that ball free and saves it in bounds. Unfortunately, though, there's only Central Washington players there to pick it up. The penalties are released, so we are back to 6-on-6. Tyler Mills meets number 11, Alex Johnson, at midfield. Johnson looking for some help. Unloads the ball to McGuire. McGuire sees Shinsis behind the cage, directs the ball to X. Shinsis up to the right to Haskins. Got Daniel Harting, number 24 into the game for the first time. Passes the ball off to Haskins, unable to handle it. Haskins able to pick it up. He's got number 4, Jack Otto, waiting up top for him, but Haskins decided to drive into a double team, but he gets bailed out with the call. Referee's going to give 24 from Portland. Stephen Carter, the senior defenseman, they're going to give him a hold penalty on that one. So Central Washington lucks out. They're right back to the man-up opportunity they've had success with today. See if they can put goal number 3 on for the Wildcats. Vayu to Haskins. Haskins to Shinsis, to McGuire, to Otto. Otto's got a shot. Takes it. Stick check just at the last minute. That ball goes wide. Backed up by Shinsis. Referee wants him out wider before they blow the whistle. Here we go. Haskins to Vayu. Vayu to Otto. Otto looks to his right. Dumps it off to McGuire. McGuire looking for the cutting Vayu. Vayu, there's that shot again. Carpenter. Same play we just saw. Run well again, but this time Carpenter unable to put that shot on the cage, but backed up by Shinsis. Shinsis at X looks forward. Knocked down, though. It's a nice job by Gloyd. Senior defenseman knocking that ball down. And we got a loose ball scrum here. Washington comes up with it. But with the penalty call, we've got a push. 1 minute. Or was it push with possession or no possession and we're just going the other way? Trying to see what the referees are deciding. With 2 minutes left in the first half. Looks like we've got a penalty call. That was a push with possession. I believe that was Otto, number 4, for Central Washington, drawing the foul. So with under 2 minutes left, Portland has another chance at an EMO. Looks like they're happy to be patient once again with the ball. And folks, with halftime approaching, don't forget you want to stay with us and check out the latest Bull Dodge Power Rankings. Nice shot there by Matt Tim. Right-handed, high to high, got his feet planted, able to put up goal number 14 for the Portland Pilots here in the first half with 1:37 left to go. Another look at Matt's goal here. Ball comes back to him on the redirected pass. He's got room to step in, plant his feet, and let that one go. Just able to get it past the left shoulder of goalie William Hauk. Put up goal number 14 for Portland. Right off the face, Ripple comes up with it, head straight for the goal. Defensed well by Fitzgerald. Turns him back. But Portland off with Chris Tim, who's going to redirect, looks to Walsh, decides that pass isn't there, sends it back to Ripple up top. Ripple finds Gunn coming out of the box. Matt Tim joins the play coming out of the box. Riley Walsh at X with 1:11 to go. Portland calling out the play. Ripple down the left side, passes the ball to X. 1 minute left in the first half. With Walsh behind the goal for Portland. Rolling back and forth on the dodge, defense well by Vayu. Off to Chris Tim, who's going to drive left-handed. Met well by the defense, number 24. That's Daniel Harting again, playing some good midi D. 40 seconds left. Gunn. Good job by Central Washington again, knocking down the pass. 30 seconds left in the first half here in Portland. Number 17 into the game, Rob Weston, getting a run for the Pilots. Off to Matt Tim. He's going to try the left-handed dodge. This time, though, fakes the redirect. Redodges, gets in close. William Hauk makes a terrific save on that low shot. But Tim, once again, gets the ball in the crease, and then Hauk does a great job with these shots in close. That's the second door he slams shut right on the crease. But we've got a call and a flag down here during that play. So 5 seconds left in the first half. Portland's going to go on the man-up opportunity. My guess is with 5 seconds, they're going to hang on to this ball, so they start the second half with possession and a man-up. But then again, not going to make any moves to the goal. 2 seconds, 1. Okay, so that's the end of the first half action here at the University of Portland in our PNCL matchup of Division II teams, the Central Washington Wildcats versus the Portland Pilots. We got a score of 14-1. Make sure you stay tuned here with our break coming up for the Bull Dodge Power Rankings. And we will be back here in just a moment. You are watching MCLA on Lax TV.
To the Power Rankings factory here at Bull Dodge. I'm pumped for this. Casimir's pumped for this. His mustache is pumped for this. And you're pumped for this. So, unlike the Nike Inside Lacrosse poll over there that the coaches come up with in the MCLA, we actually have movement to ours. If you lose, you drop in the polls. It's not, you just don't hang out because you're a story program. So, Kaz, let's get right into it. Give our viewers your thoughts.
Well, you know, Michigan State dropped out of our poll from last week. And this week we have Texas moving into our poll, into our top 10. They're at number 9. You know what the Longhorns have been able to do this year. They're 6-0, and Spencer Price, their attackman, has been putting up some seriously good numbers. Seriously. So it should be, it should be interesting to see, how Texas does once they get into, some of their harder games down the road. But yeah, we have them at number 9.
Exactly, and then at number 10, barely hanging on, we have the Chapman Panthers. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to beat BYU again. They've struggled against BYU mightily, And they've dropped their last 2 contests off the top of my head, the overtime thriller last year, as well as the game in Greenville. You know, it's tough for Dallas Hartley. He's trying to get his boys back to the story program that Chapman is, but they're off to kind of a rough start here in 2013. But knowing him and knowing what he's all about, I'm sure they'll be able to figure things out. And come Greenville, you don't want to face off against Chapman Panthers.
Yeah, and also moving up in our poll is to number 7 is Colorado. You know, the Buffs play their first real game this weekend against Oregon. You know, and that should be a real test for Boulder as they take on, you know, an elite program.
Exactly. At number 8, we have the Cal Bears. They actually take on Sonoma State University this weekend, a game that will be shown on Lax TV. Be sure to check it out. Lax TV produces mini games this weekend. You can check them out. All kinds of action.
Yeah, so that's our power rankings. I'm Casimir Morovsky.
And I'm Ryan Heydrich.
See you later.
University of Portland, our MCLA action today on Lax TV, where we are changing the way you follow lacrosse. Today's action is brought to you by Bigfoot Lacrosse, serving the Oregon and Northwest lacrosse community since 2001. Bigfoot Lacrosse, players wanted. Today's action also brought to you by the folks at Epic Lacrosse. Epic Lacrosse delivers the finest manufactured lacrosse equipment designed to increase playability and maximize performance by using world-class materials and techniques. Developed in collaboration with True Temper Sports, Epic shafts are made from the highest grade materials available. They have tested and retested each design to ensure durability, playability, and performance are optimized. Their goal is simple: to give the player every opportunity to reach their true potential. Live, play, be. So just about to kick things off here in the second half, folks. My name is John Stevens here at the University of Portland, where the Pilots are leading the Central Washington Wildcats by a score of 14-2. And if you remember, at the end of our first half, the Pilots were in a man-up situation, and they maintained possession at the end of the half, which means to start the second half, they do not have to face off, that they start the second half right away with possession. So after a couple of quick stick checks, looks like the referees are ready to get things underway, returning everybody's equipment to them. And it looks like the ball is going to stop up top right here with Nolan Ripple. And as soon as the referees are in position, we're going to get going. So once again, Portland in the man-up situation. Moves the ball around, gets the ball to Riley Walsh at the left side of the cage, redirects it up top to Matt Tim, quickly over to Entman. Entman finds Chris Tim coming around from GX, hits him right at GLE on the right side, where Chris Tim quickly catches the ball, turns the corner, and is able to shovel that past William Hauk for goal number 15 for the Pilots, with 14:41 to go here at the start of the third quarter. See the good ball movement there by the Pilots. Get the Wildcats moving. Get a couple guys out of position. Turn their heads. Find the man sneaking in from X for the quick goal. While you watch that goal, quick face-off. We're back underway, where number 4, Jack Otto from Central Washington, comes up with that face-off. Trying to weave his way through traffic. He's unable to get out of there just before the stick check from Portland, who comes up with a loose ball, finds Walsh on the right side, quickly turns and redirects it back up top to Ripple. Nolan gets the ball across field through Tim to Rosales, back to Entman. We're going to return it back up top to Ripple. Sean Gunn, cradle to his right, return the ball to the midfield as Portland continues to set their offense up, moving the ball around the circle. Ripple to the left, where Gunn returns it off to Chris Tim. Bastian back to Chris Tim, back to Ripple. Ripple looked to set up a dodge before he dumps it to Gunn. Looking for a cutter coming back, following through on the top. Portland being very patient. Bastian back behind to Ripple, who's now inverted to X. Puts a shot on Hauk, who redirects it. Oh, and on the scrum on the loose ball, somehow that loose ball gets tipped back in through the crease. Hauk was off balance, unable to get a foot or a hand on that loose ball, and it dribbles in for goal number 16 for the Pilots. It's a tough break for Central Washington. They were playing that defense pretty well. So we're going to go right up to the face-off here. To be honest, I'm not even sure who to credit that goal. That goal will probably be credited to the in-home for Portland. And Rosales will move up to take the face against Vayu. Vayu does a nice job swinging that ball directly back to Fitzgerald. Scoops up the ball, moves over midfield, hesitates where he's met by number 30, Kyle Michael, who gets the ball loose, but Vayu's there to scoop up the loose ball and get free. Central Washington's going to have to touch the ball in, and they do. Another rule change this year. Once you touch it into the offensive end, in the past, if you step back out of that box, the referees would be giving you a 10 count to step back in. This year, that rule is gone. You step it in once, and you are in. You can move about the field at will, not worrying about stepping in, stepping out. You can set your offense up and go for it. So Vayu going to look for some fresh legs. Drops the ball at the substitution box where it's scooped up by Dean Burke, number 1, a sophomore midfielder out of Issaquah. Getting his first action this afternoon. Goal scorer Chris McGuire has the ball on the far side, taking the ball up top. He's going to drive down the right side and redirect the ball to X for Shinsis. Back up to Haskins. Jacob's going to look cross field. There's no cutter, so he's going to fake the quick dodge, re-dodge. Met by number 19, Michael Zarka, freshman defenseman out of Scottsdale for the Pilots. There's plenty of MCLA action, actually D2 action today going on Lax TV, where Dominican down in the Bay Area taking on Chestnut Hill. You'll see that game tape delayed tonight, so look away if you already haven't for that score. But right now, Dominican holding a 13-4 lead at the half on Chestnut Hill. I believe those are both ranked teams in D2, so you're going to check that tape delay out tonight. It should be a good game. Dominican, number of players from the Portland area on that squad, Portland and Vancouver. The Beal brothers from Vancouver and Kingsway, Grant Clifford out of Lincoln, Ben Ludeman from Westview, and Trevor Garner out of OES, all in the Dominican squad. Back to the action here at the University of Portland. Number 17 gets the feed from Walsh, and he's in close. Able to put that shot on goal was Rob Weston, freshman attackman. Hauk able to come up with a stop on that one on the close-in shot. Central Washington moving the ball upfield with Ben Aldassin, freshman out of Bellarmine, unable to get that clear to his attack, where Kyle Michael brings it over. Ripple with the ball. Tim takes a look at Sean Gunn, decides to go that direction. Portland represented from a number of different states on the West Coast. Most of the Central Washington players, aside from Fitzpatrick being from Alaska, are from Washington area schools. Portland represented Arizona, San Francisco, all up and down the coast. Of course, local Oregon players. Bastian takes the ball on the far right, up to Gunn. Once again, Portland being patient. Weston back to Gunn. An illegal procedure or a pick from Portland. Quick turnover, Central Washington going the other direction. Baldassin was able to get that ball over midfield quickly to Haskins, who gets the ball over to Vayu. He's going to go to work on Kyle Michael. Off to Otto, back to Vayu. Vayu looks for McGuire. McGuire D'd up by Tyler Mills. McGuire still working hard, trying to get that feed inside to Vayu. Unable to connect, ball's loose. Matt Tim had a shot at it. Got a stoppage of play. Off-ball penalty on red. Looks like we're going Portland's way. Matt Tim able to get the ball over midfield to Kyle Michael. Stumbles, keeps his feet. Looking for a short stick to unload that ball to. Able to find Ripple. Ripple dumps the ball off to Matt Tim on the top of the box. Who gets it off to number 17. Rob Weston, who's met and defensed well by number 20. That was Austin Kartik stripping the ball from Portland and Weston. That's going to be a turnover going back to Central Washington, where Brendan Carpenter, who's got a goal in the afternoon, brings the ball over midfield. Fakes the pass to his left, brings it to his right. Can't connect with McGuire. Kyle Michael picks up the loose ball, gets it quickly to Matt Tim, who's moving over midfield. Dumps it off to Walsh, who sees that was Rob Weston on the far side, able to take that initial shot, hit the pipe, bounced far right, and looks like it's made its way over to Nolan Ripple's stick, and Ripple was able to put that rebound back into the cage for Portland, making that a 17-2 lead for the Pilots at 8:22 left in the third. Looks like that's a hat trick for Ripple on the day to go to his face-off wins. Kyle Michael on the close wing to us here. It looks like number 8, Bill Michelson, out to take a face for the Pilots for the first time. But it's number 11, Alex Johnson, coming up with that face-off win before he's got the stick dislodged. But referee's calling a hold and giving the ball to Portland right away. Michael in heavy traffic dislodges the ball, goes right back to Johnson. Johnson comes up with it. Working his way to the offensive end, he gets free. Tries to roll through a couple defensemen, loses the ball. McGuire's got a shot at it. So the ball out of bounds, and the far sideline is going to stay with Central Washington. McGuire back behind to Shinsis. Patrick Mell clears through as Shinsis rolls to the top of the cage and gets the ball up top, where Vayu is waiting. Vayu looks to the right side. Back to Vayu. Take a chance and take a try on the dodge to the right. Mike Henry does a nice job of staying low and then coming up with that bounce shot and getting a piece of it with his shoulder, it looked like. Daniel Harting picks up the ball. Another flag down against Portland, so Central Washington with an opportunity to get a good shot on the cage before they go up a man. Harting getting ridden hard by Portland. It's like Kyle Michael giving him everything he can handle on the sideline. Michael able to dislodge the ball, get a stoppage of play, so Central Washington will go in on the EMO. Portland will be man down once again. I believe it was a hold call, which would be a technical 30 seconds. And it looks like they got number 16 on the call, Matthew Rosales, on the hold. And Central Washington underway on their man-up opportunity, looking to capitalize and get their third goal of the afternoon. Quickly over to Vayu. Vayu was going to pass that ball to his left, but turned his head before he caught it, so the ball's on the deck. Tyler Mills comes up with a loose ball, and although they're down a man, Portland's moving the ball ahead of the Wildcats, able to get an opportunity, but the shot wasn't there as Central Washington recovered and slid well and stopped that fast break. So Portland looking to kill that penalty as Matt Tim runs by his defender, looks cross crease where Bastian was trying to come around from behind X for that feed, unable to scoop it up. Rob Weston comes out of the pile with that loose ball. Wanted to make the pass to Gunn, but Gunn wasn't looking. And Michelson able to put a good check on the Central Washington midi, get that ball dislodged to get it back in Portland's possession. Get a little bit lazy on their passes as the day goes by, giving Central Washington another opportunity here with 6:04 to get themselves in the offensive end and get a goal. Central Washington not paying attention. Bastian does a great job of riding, sneaking up behind number 21, Ben Baldassin, and stripping him of the ball. Jack Otto through midfield for Central Washington. pulls things out, settles it down for the Wildcats. Looks to Chris McGuire on the far right sideline. Jacob Haskins takes a look, decides he wants to try his own shot from outside. Unable to get that ball in the cage as Stephen Carter stood his ground and took that shot for his keeper. But it's Haskins back up with the ball. He's going to move it up to Carpenter. Off to Otto. Back in the stick of Chris McGuire. McGuire looking to the top of the box. Rolls back to his right. Defensed well by Mills. Decides to give it up. It's like back to Shinsis. At X. Up to Haskins. Carpenter with the ball up top. Looks to the crease, nothing there. Hits McGuire on the right. McGuire moving back and forth. Decides to redirect to X. Shinsis looks up and brings it back to Haskins on the right side of Mike Henry in goal. Central doing a good job of being deliberate on this possession. Getting some good touches. Stephen Carpenter doing a nice job of defensing Haskins there. Being aggressive all over him. Does a nice job of stripping the ball. That's going to be a push from behind with possession on Haskins. Easy call for the refs on that one. So Pilots will get the man-up opportunity, but they will have to clear the ball. Nope, looks like they're going to hit the ball at midfield on that call. They'll start right into their man-up opportunity here. 4:12 left, holding a 17-2 lead are the Pilots. And once again, with an extra man, with that push call, probably going to be 30 seconds with possession on the technical. So we've got Ripple, Chris, and Matt Tim up top. Riley Walsh hits Chris Tim, who cut through the middle on the EMO. They're joined by McKennis Entman and Sean Gunn on the man-up opportunity. It'll be Chris Tim bringing the ball in at X. Central Washington's got to get back in their zone. Matt fakes the shot, steps past the defender, steps in for the shot, unable to put it on cage. But it's his brother Chris bringing it in from X. Moves above GLE, passes the ball up to Nolan Ripple. Off to Matt Tim. Off to the left side to Walsh, who again finds a cutting attackman all alone on the crease. Inching in closer and closer to the goal as they pass it back and forth. Nice save by Hauk. Gets a foot on that shot there with the pickoff, and he decides to come all the way across midfield. No one picks him up. He makes a nice dodge pass to lunging defenseman and puts that shot on goal. Unfortunately, it bangs off the crossbar, and he doesn't get to put himself in the scorebook for the day at this point. Matt Tim quickly off to Rob Weston, who puts a shot on cage. He hits the pipe close, sends the ball behind X, where Entman will bring it in. Matt Tim dishes to his brother Chris, who rips from the outside. Hard to tell, but looks like Hauk might have gotten a piece of that one. Judging from the way he's wincing in cage, I think he did get a piece of that one, so another nice save by Hauk. Ball's up top. Tim to Tim. Tim down to Entman. In close. Another great in close doorstop save by William Hauk. As we said, this young man sees a lot of rubber, and he's doing a great job today. Tough to face 40-plus shots a game. Loose ball picked up by Weston. Weston gets free, running down the left side. Swims over number 19, Fitzgerald. Gets the ball to Gunn, who redirects up top. Ripple dishes off to Matt Tim. Senior takes control of the ball. Looks to his sophomore brother, Chris. Short time left in this quarter to see if Portland gets another shot off with just about 10 seconds left. Matt takes one in the head, draws the penalty from Fitzgerald, still able to drive through traffic and get that shot off. And, oof, I don't know if that was close to being another penalty there as the whistle blew at the end of the third quarter. We've got at least one penalty coming up on Central. And the referees quickly talking to each team, it looked like for a moment, but I think they're just discussing amongst themselves what it is that they saw. So before we take a break, we want to get a call here from the refs as to what to expect. And they're still discussing it. So with 18-2 here in Portland, the University of Portland leading Central Washington, we're going to take a break here at the end of the third quarter. You're watching MCLA action on Lax TV.
Hi, I'm Andy Jolly.
Dave Wakefield.
Clarkson with Davenport University Panthers, and you're watching Lax TV.
Kaz, you like lacrosse?
Hell yeah.
Well, I love lacrosse. That's why you should keep it here on Lax TV. Check out our new show called Bull Dodge.
And check us out on Twitter at @bull_dodge.
See you over there.
Our newest sponsor is SportsBoard, creators of the iPad and iPhone-based player assessment solutions that are used for recruiting, season, and camp activities. SportsBoard's revolutionary paperless system is used by over 60 men's and women's college programs, is being adopted by club and high school teams. For more information, go to sportsboard-win.com.
Harris makes 2-3 moves, scores! Here come the Ducks. San Jose finds the back of the net. Bryant inside to Yealy. This is going to be a goal for Yealy. Bojano into the middle to cross. Bounce. Score! Sean Beer sends it up top. Left-handed shot by Vasilevsky.
Welcome back, everyone. MCLA action here on Lax TV. And all this action is brought to you by the folks at Northwest Audio Visual, who's a proud sponsor of Lax TV in the 2013 season. Northwest Audio Visual, broadcasting events to the World Wide Web. Folks, we got it up on the screen. You can see some of our upcoming games. Tomorrow we're going to be back up in Seattle for the Arizona versus Washington game. Early start 10 a.m. So roll right out of bed, get your coffee, and check that one out. So next weekend we've got a doubleheader. We've got Saturday we'll have Southern Oregon traveling out to Walla Walla to see Whitman, and then we go to home of the Beavers to see Sonoma State come into Corvallis to take on Oregon State and Coach Chad Stelling. Back to the live action. Fourth quarter underway here in Portland. University of Portland holding an 18-2 advantage over Central Washington. Portland back with the ball. Gunn on the fast break, tries to hit Rob Weston with the no-look pass, unable to do so. It'll be a turnover to the Wildcats, where Austin Kartik will bring the ball up off the end line. Looking for a short stick at midfield, coming out of the substitution box, unable to connect on the pass. Was Patrick Mell. Now the ball's loose again, but looks like Carpenter was able to come up with that loose ball. Getting ragged by the Pilots, who make him drop the ball quickly up to McKennis Entman, who's obviously dangerous with the ball, and Nolan Ripple met by number 6 and turned around. That was Stephen Lord. So Portland pulls the ball back out, starts moving around. We've got a flag down on Central Washington. So we've got a play-on situation. Free look at the goal for Portland. In no hurry to get that shot off. Happy to just pass the ball around, kill some of this time, knowing they're going to get the EMO as soon as the ball stops. Tim up top, winds up, swims through the traffic. Able to put a shot just wide. So with the ball out of bounds, we've got an illegal procedure call on Central Washington. Looks like someone may have left the substitution box a little early. Too many men on the field. Illegal substitution, so we've got a 30-second technical coming up at 13:24 in the fourth. Portland looking to add to that lead of 18-2. Ball's going to start back right with Ian McKennis Entman, 2011 PNCLL D2 MVP. Got Chris and Matt Tim out top. on the EMO, and to Ripple, who steps in, puts a nice shot just wide of the right side of the cage, excuse me, to Hauk's left. The Tim brothers are joined by Sean Gunn, Rob Weston, Entman, and Ripple on the man up. Bad pass there, or a tip pass by Entman, goes right into the stick of number 21, Baldassin from Central. But Central unable to take care of the ball, turns it right back over to Portland. Where it looks like Matt Tim will be bringing the ball in on the Central Washington side of the sub box. See if Central can get to him before midfield. No. Nice easy pass over. And we're back to even, so that penalty has released. Central Washington back to 6-on-6. As Gunn moves the ball up to Ripple. Number 18, Michael Garrett, enters the game for the first time. A freshman out of Seattle Prep, getting his first run of the day. Ball out of bounds. Kartik's going to bring the ball up again. Makes the pass, tries to hit Hartig at midfield, unable to connect, but the ball's loose, bounced around a little bit, back into the stick of Vayu. Does a good job of hustling, finding some open space, settling things down. Moves the ball up to Otto up top. Jack's going to take a run, splits back to his left, tries to get his right hand free again. Oh, he puts a shot on Cage from in close and just gets one past Mike Henry for the third goal of the afternoon for Central Washington at 11:57 in the fourth. So nice job by Otto. Get his hands free on the split dodge to redirect, come back to his right hand. You can see here on the replay, he's on the left. Getting ragged pretty hard by the Portland defense, but able to get that right hand free and just gets one. Maybe Henry might have gotten a tip of that one off the left side of his stick, but that goal counts. So we got 18-3 here with 11:57 in the fourth quarter. Portland leading Central Washington. Looks like Vayu back out to take the face off against Rosales. Vayu able to flip it out to number 15. Patrick Mell comes up with the face-off loose ball off to Chris McGuire, who looks to Jeremy Vayu. Vayu back to McGuire. McGuire looks like they're going to pass it around from Mell back through X to Shinsis, who gets it up to Jacob Haskins. McGuire coming up top from his attack position, inverted. Rolls back to his left, gets his hands free, going to shoot through traffic. Puts a low shot at the feet of Mike Henry, but Mike's all over that one. Comes up with the save. Steps out of his crease, slows things down on the clear. Looks to midfield where number 8 can't get the pass. Bill Michelson drops that pass from his goalie where Chris McGuire comes up with it. Chris runs through traffic. Central Washington look for that feed to Shinsis on the crease, unable to get the through, so the ball's on the ground again. Little man ball work. See if anybody's talking to each other. The ball comes clean. Looks like Portland's going to be able to scoop it up clean. And we've got an interference call on White on Portland, so that ball's going to go back to the Wildcats. 10:43 left in the game. Chris McGuire brings it in. Gets it back to Shinsis. Shinsis looks up top, nobody there. Gets it off to Haskins, who decides to take an outside shot from the right. Blocked. That blocked shot ends up in the stick of Shinsis, who gets it back to Haskins, who puts it on goal. I think Mike Henry was able to redirect that one, send it out of bounds. Once again, Central Washington at X with Haskins to the ball to the right, up to Vayu. Vayu to McGuire. McGuire looks to Shinsis, says no, comes up to Vayu up top. Wanted to get that left hand free, but checked by Bill Michelson right at the end there. Lloyd comes up with that loose ball in the check. We're at midfield. Oh, big hit. Big hit on number 18. Michael Garrett was met by number 21, Ben Baldassin. And it almost looked like Jeremy Vayu took the worst of that hit. So see if we can take a look at that. Got some hard-hitting action here as everyone's got their eye on the ball down low. Here comes number 21 with the big hit. And you can see puts the nice hit on number 18, but by doing so also took out his own teammate behind him. And unfortunately that hit was deemed to be a little bit high. So Baldassin will be sitting in the box once again, putting Portland on the man-up opportunity. And didn't see the ref's call, but wouldn't be surprised if they made that a non-releasable. Not that it was a violent hit, but it was up high. And of course, the first thing we want to do with the refs is protect the players at all costs. Just about to get back underway. Ref had to put the laundry back in his pocket, and we're back to action. Tim looks to Ripple on the right, off to McKennis Entman. Off to Matt, to Chris. Ward got away with it, but the flag goes down on Central Washington rather than Portland. Loose ball right on the crease, danger. Last time this happened, someone kicked it in the goal. We got a garbage goal out of that one, but Ripple comes up with a loose ball behind the cage. He's going to put it in Chris Tim's hand, who's going to draw his hands back, and that close in, he's going to let that one rip. With all that traffic in front of Houck, I'm not surprised that one got by. It's tough to find that ball with everything going on, but that's goal number 19 for the Pilots at 9:28 left in the contest. We'll see if that goal, here you see on the replay, you've got Ripple behind the cage. Looking up top, gun cuts through and clears out some space. That pass finally comes up to Chris Tim with plenty of room to take a couple hop steps, get his feet set, and uncork that ball to the far right post. That goal did not release the penalty, so it was a non-releasable penalty, so the Pilots will continue until the end of that 1 minute call. They will continue on the man up. Another new rule this year, you can see on this face-off that Central Washington is facing off a man down. Central Washington's got 2 men in the box. There was a second penalty, so there's a penalty during that goal, the non-releasable penalty that they were already serving. So Central Washington, unfortunately, going to be playing 6-on-4 right now on their defensive end. The change of the rules here is the shot by Kyle Michael. Long stick puts it in, gets himself on the scoreboard. Right off that face-off, and a 2 men down opportunity. Long stick midi picks up the ball and puts in the goal for the Portland Pilots to make it 20-3. Still serving that non-releasable 2-minute penalty. Here you can see the goal coming up off the loose ball. No one's going to pick up Kyle Michael, so he's going to step in and let it rip from outside. And as that non-releasable penalty is still being served, you can see teams are no longer allowed to bring an attackman out of the box to the wing to play on the face-off. So in a sense, you are now literally playing man down when you face the ball off. I think it's a great rule. Illegal procedure call on the Pilots, so although they are down a man, they're up a man. Central Washington will be playing a man down, so expect Portland to play a very physical defense, which they are, and double the ball. A lot of big hitting coming on this fourth quarter. Action's really heating up. Big Matt Tim puts his shoulder down, just runs through Fitzgerald. Big hit on the crease by Jack Otto, takes out McKennis Entman. And a flag goes down. So that's going to be number 4, Jack Otto, with a high hit to the head on number 20, Entman. Take another look at that real quick. See Entman on the crease, tries to go. Should have shot right away, but held the ball for a moment too long, where he's met hard by Central Washington. However, Central Washington is still sitting in that 2-minute non-releasable penalty. They're now back to a 2 men down situation. The referee's over at the scoring table, getting some things straight. It's like a stoppage of play. Referee looks like having some words with some people on the sideline, which happens. Folks, while we've got a moment here, we want to remember to remind you to become a fan on Facebook, where you find us at Lax TV, LAXX TV. Find our homepage. Make sure you like us. And make sure you follow us for those of you that are on the Twitterverse. You can find us at LaxTV, at LAXXTV. Check in and check often. Okay, folks, while we've got a stoppage of play here, with timeout during the stoppage, we're going to take a quick break ourselves. You're enjoying the MCLA on Lax TV.
Hi, I'm Andy Jolly.
Dave Wakefield.
Clarkson with Davenport University Panthers, and you're watching Lax TV.
Kaz, you like lacrosse?
Hell yeah.
Well, I love lacrosse. That's why you should keep it here on Lax TV. Check out our new show called Bull Dodge.
And check us out on Twitter at @bull_dodge.
See you over there.
Our newest sponsor is SportsBoard, creators of the iPad and iPhone-based player assessment solutions that are used for recruiting, season, and camp activities. SportsBoard's revolutionary paperless system is used by over 60 men's and women's college programs, is being adopted by club and high school teams. For more information, go to sportsboard-win.com.
Hi, I'm Bill Harkins, and I'm the head men's lacrosse coach at Florida State University, and you're watching this game on Lax TV.
Welcome back to the MCLA action on Lax TV, everyone. You're watching Lax TV. We're changing the way you follow lacrosse. Tonight our action is brought to you by the folks at Bigfoot Lacrosse, serving Oregon and the Northwest lacrosse community since 2001. Bigfoot Lacrosse, players wanted. Tonight's game also brought to you by the folks at Epic Lacrosse. Epic Lacrosse delivers the finest manufactured lacrosse equipment designed to increase playability and maximize performance by using world-class materials and techniques. Developed in collaboration with True Temper Sports, Epic shafts are made from the highest grade materials available. They have tested and retested each design to ensure durability, playability, and performance are optimized. Their goal is simple: to give the player every opportunity to reach their true potential. Epic Lacrosse. Live. Play. Be. So we're back to the action here in Portland. 8:53 left in the fourth quarter. University of Portland holding a commanding 20-3 lead over the Central Washington Wildcats. And the University of Portland's going to start off here in a two-man up situation, with Central Washington finishing out the end of a 2-minute non-releasable penalty. And then incurring another penalty as their last goal was scored and the flag was down. I believe the whistle to start play has been blown, so I don't know if Portland's just killing time. The clock is running, and gotta admit, I don't know what's going on here. Portland seems to be very satisfied to just sit with a two-man up opportunity and hold the ball. Riley Walsh holding the ball in the back corner. So far, at least 20-25 seconds has rolled by. Portland running middies back and forth, switching attack from the left side on GLE to the top. It looks like Gunn is going to sit back there on the left side and stay there. Walsh has got Weston behind the cage at X. Chris Tim up top. Rosales up in the top center. And Bastian sitting in the crease. So coming up on just about a minute of non-activity. One man finally released for Central Washington. That's Carpenter coming into the game, so now we've got a 5-on-6 opportunity. Walsh still holding the ball in the bottom right corner. Finally, we're underway. Passes the ball up to Chris Tim, who's going to move back to that corner and switch spots with Walsh. Portland apparently showing some gamemanship with some sportsmanship with a 17-goal lead. No need to press the issue with this opportunity is the only thing I can think of. Chris Tim again, standing with the ball in the corner, starting to look like the Maryland-Syracuse playoff game a few years ago when Maryland held the ball forever. So Riley Walsh with the ball, moving back and forth up top, right to left, looks to the center. Sean Gunn drives down the left-hand side, finds Chris Tim. Tim moving the ball to X, switches spots with Bastian. Tim looking up top, gonna run the ball through Weston, up to Rosales, and on to Gunn. 5.5 minutes left in this game. Bastian with the ball behind the cage for Portland. Looks across to his teammate Weston. Weston to Tim, Tim to Rosales, back up to Gunn. Sean Gunn with the ball up top, redirects it, going the other direction to Rosales this time. Weston will turn to pass to Bastian behind the cage, but was passing before he even looked. And number 6, Stephen Lord, did a nice job of anticipating that pass and stepping into the passing lane, stealing that ball from Portland. So we're over midfield now. Central Washington tries to feed the ball to the middle. Unable to connect, but Haskins able to track down that loose ball. Give Central Washington a look at the cage with 4.5 minutes left in the game. Haskins being met by number 14, Kyle Peterson, into the game. Junior defenseman, another player for Portland out of the Seattle Prep program. Shinsas enters the game from the end line with the ball at X. Passes it to Haskins. Haskins moves it up front to Harting, who looks to the middle where Shinsas came from X, curled across the crease, got a nice pass, able to turn and look at the goal. Wasn't able to put that one between the pipes. No one there to back up the cage. So it's going to be Portland's ball, where Henry will walk up the clear. 4 minutes left in the game. Chris Tim going to try and get past Hastings over midfield, and he's able to do so. Excuse me, Haskins, not Hastings. Chris Tim in the far corner. Looks to his brother Matt. Matt's on the far sideline working back and forth. Comes back up top where he's going to find Rosales up top center. Moves the ball to Walsh. Walsh cuts back to his right. Redirects the ball up top. We'll start with Sean Gunn in the top right. Top left looking from the goalie's viewpoint. Portland with the ball on the far sideline, drops the pass. Lord. Stephen Lord called with the push. Ball goes back to Portland, where Gunn puts it to Rosales in midfield. Again, Portland has already stepped into the offensive zone. We don't need to worry about the new rule. The Pilots bringing the ball out and having to step back into the offensive box every 10 seconds like in years past. So they're able to stay wide, just kill the time as they see fit. Walsh behind the cage. 2:44 left in the game. Matt Tim gets the ball up to Rosales, who drops the pass. Pick it up quick while Carpenter was closing in on him, but he's able to do so and makes a break. Dean Burke in the game for Central Washington, playing some midi D. Ball behind the cage with Bastian. Gets past Fitzgerald, looks to the front of the cage, decides to come in on his own. Able to move right in on GLE, get in close, and we've seen Houck make a number of those great close-in saves on the doorstep, but that's just asking too much of your goalie to let an attackman run right in on the crease, continue across his face, and throw back where the goalie was on that inside pipe. So that's going to be goal number 21 for the Pilots here with 2:04 left in the fourth quarter. Looks like it was Bastian's second goal of the afternoon, unassisted. And off the face. Looks like Michelson's got a shot at it, comes up with a loose ball, finds Matt Tim at midfield, who steps over. 2 minutes left in the game. Throws the ball away, unable to connect. It's going to be a turnover to Central Washington where Fitzgerald will step in. Quick whistle, he's ready to go. Looks for the long pass midfield. Oh, he's able to make that pass. Great job, Central Washington able to make a good 50-yard plus pass cross field. Portland unable to step in and intercept that ball, and Haskins able to make that catch, step past the defenseman who ran past him, move in close to the goal and put that one away for goal number 4 for the Wildcats. Minute 52 left. That's goal number 4 for the Wildcats. And there was a flag down during that shot. So it looks like there will be a penalty on the Pilots, thus negating the faceoff. The ball will go directly to Central Washington, where Johnson steps right in and lets it rip. Backed up by Shinsis. 1:47 left in the contest. Shinsis to Haskins. Haskins up top to Johnson. Johnson drives, met by Michael. Flips the ball over to Mel. Mel to McGuire. McGuire's got some room to move in and shoot if he wants it, and he takes it. Doesn't put the shot on the cage, but it's backed up. Pass knocked down by number 14, Kyle Peterson. Shintz is coming in from the back right. 1:20 left in the game. Haskins going to wind up from the right side. That ball never reaches Henry after it hits somebody. And Henry outraces Shinsis to the end line. The ball's going to go to Portland. Good hustle by the keeper. Rosales going to bring the ball up the near sideline right in front of us. Going to be met at midfield, dodges through. He dumps the ball to Matt Tim. 1 minute left in the game. Portland probably going to be happy to possess, move the ball around rather than go to the cage with a sizable lead. And a quick stoppage of play, the referee's timeout. Referee wants to clarify something with the Portland bench before they continue. And we're back underway. 40 seconds left in the game. Riley Walsh with the ball. Happy to just step back, kill some of this last few minutes, last few seconds. Patrick Mel D'ing him up. 22 seconds left. Give the ball to senior Matt Tim, who'll get it to Rosales. Back to Bastian behind the goal, gets it back up top to Matt Tim. 6 seconds left as Riley Walsh will probably run the end of this one out. 2, 1. And that's going to do it here at the University of Portland, where the Portland Pilots have defeated Central Washington Wildcats by a score of 21-4 in a Division II matchup here in the PNCLL. About what we expected coming into this game. Central Washington fought hard, but a little bit outmatched here when they've got an older team, a senior-laden team with 6 seniors, 6 juniors on this Portland team. The Central Washington team made up 25 people on the roster. 15 are sophomores, 10 are sophomores or freshmen, 10 freshmen on the squad. There's going to be ups and downs. Central Washington played very hard. They have a lot to look forward to. They've got a tough schedule coming up. Central Washington has got College of Idaho. They're going to be traveling at Cal They're going to be down at Marymount, Biola, Southern Oregon, Gonzaga, all road games before they finally get home against PLU, UPS, Whitman, and Western Washington. For the University of Portland, they'll be heading on the road after this game. They're going to be taking on PLU, Western Washington, Southern, and Western Oregon all on the road. Western Oregon and Western Washington will be matchups between other D2 top 25 teams in the MCLA. And they'll finish up the year with home games against the College of Idaho and against Whitman. Some of the leading scorers today, we expected coming in that we'd see McKenna Sentman get on the board. And it looks like he had at least 3 goals and a hat trick for the day. Looks like Bastian got on the scoreboard a couple times, as well as Matt Tim and Chris Tim. Looks like Matt Tim also had a hat trick. Nolan Ripple got on the scoreboard with a couple goals. Overall, both teams, good face-off battles between Jeremy Velou and Nolan Ripple from Portland. But I expect to see Portland move on this year, maybe do some damage, get invited to that national MCLA tournament in South Carolina this year. Folks, don't forget, here at Lax TV, we've got opportunities for you to log on and check us out at Facebook, as well as Twitter at LAX TV. Make sure you log on, follow Lax TV. Again, YouTube, the website, all kinds of opportunities to watch replays of this game and any other game that we've done. We will be covering games the next 2 weekends. Be up in Seattle next week for Arizona, Washington. Out at Whitman next weekend. So folks, as we wrap things up here this afternoon, we want to thank you for watching this MCLA lacrosse game on Lax TV, where we're changing the way you follow lacrosse. Special thank you to Panchito Ojeda for putting this game together, as well as many more to come. And then to our crew who puts together this video every week. Video director Guy Yankovic, graphics, replay, and IT is Jeff Pinkerton, and out cameraman today was Trevor Croissant. Thank you all for joining us. Happy to have you here enjoying the MCLA action on Lax TV. We will see you next time from Seattle.